Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Tel Cockerel. You have Jose, and I have with me tonight
Colin, how's it
from
going?
Talk and Ball. How are you?
Doing well. Busy day, but a good one. A good day. How about you, buddy?
Well, I was on my way back from work on the train, and I was watching your podcast with Spurs diehards. So you've definitely had a busy day. So you must have been on there at least 2.5 hours ago, because you guys started 8 o'clock in the evening. So well done, you. And I'm surprised. I'm kind of surprised that you're here because I thought you might have been tired, but
I'm a little tired, but got my rock star. I'm
yeah,
good to
but them
go.
things them things ain't good for you, pal.
No, I know. I've been drinking plenty. I drink plenty of water to try to offset it, but who knows? I got to cut them out eventually. But yeah,
He says eventually he's got to cut them out. God,
yeah. One of these days. One of these days. Not today, but maybe tomorrow.
fantastic. Right, so what we've got is tonight's show to start off with is going to be all about the the competitions that we've got and giving people an update of where we are with the competitions. And then we can talk some football as well. But first of all, I'm going to catch up with the competitions. I'll let the chat dictate as what they want to catch up with first. Do they want to catch up with the Friday predictions show? Do they want to catch up with the Fantasy Premier League? Or do they want to catch up with Predict the Prem? I'll let the chat decide what they want to go with first. Um, but earlier on today, so this was left at 8:05, so it was left 2.5 hours ago. Graham said, "Good evening, Jose. I hope you're well. We'll miss the show later, so have a good one. We'll be away from YouTube for a few days, but we'll see you for predictions on Friday." God bless you, Graham. Thank you very much for coming in, leaving a message, and also smashing the like button. So thank you very much. And I ask everyone, smash the like before the show starts. It does help. Talk Spurs. This is Jamie Imber. This is talking. This was talking Tottenham TV.
Yeah,
Uh,
it looks like he's rebranded.
he's rebranded. He's now called Talk Spurs, and he's rebranded the badge and everything. And he's looking for subscribers at Talk Spurs. I know that he's within our WhatsApp group, and I know that people have been subbing to him already. So good evening to you, Jamie. Um, David Shear says, "Danny, you both beat me, lol. Good morning to you, David. I hope you're well. You must have put your notification on because you said yesterday you'd be here today, so you must have put your notification on, mate. So well done, you. Um, you've got. He says, Jose, come on, Cobber. G'day, Graham. You've got Adrian saying, good evening, Jose at all. Good evening, Adrian. You had a really good show earlier, mate. Well done, you and your panelists. And I think some of them are in the chat further down, and I will say hello to them as well. Um, what the hell scared the shit out of me? I don't know. Coys from Jamie. Danny Reese says, hi, everyone. Hi, Danny. I've
Hi,
got a
Danny.
feeling. Is Danny, are you with Johnny Vasco? I've just got a feeling. I don't know. I might be wrong. But hi, Danny. Hope you're well, darling, and thank you for being here.
Yeah, we
Um,
appreciate it.
people saying hello to each other. Colin made Jose here. And then he says, as Basil thought he said, typical. Ian Meth, good evening, Ian. I hope you're well, sir. He says, hi, guys. I'll have to catch up on Die Hards.
It's a good show.
Um, David Shear says, ban Vegemite, yet have all the sugar drinks on the. Oh, the USA is a conundrum, Colin. The Sheriff, who's another person who was on the Spurs diehards tonight, says, big up and good evening. Good evening, Mark. I hope you're well, sir. Ian says, no more postmortems, please. So depressing. Each to their own is all I'm going to say. Each to their own. Phil, who was another person who was on Spurs diehards tonight, well done for being on there, Phil. You've done really well. As I said, I was on the train on the way home from work and I listened to the show and I was commenting as well. But it's difficult because they don't read out many of the comments in the chat on Spurs diehards, so you don't know whether you've been noted or not. So, but anyway, it's something that everyone does it differently.
Yeah.
Look, Danny says, "Yep, I am." So, Danny, are you Johnny Vasco's partner? Are you his daughter? What is it that you are? Let us know. Um, and if unless that's Johnny writing it all down now, but Yeah, big up to you, Danny, and big up to Johnny as well. Have you reached the Basque region yet? You must have done, because if you were driving through France, I'm sure you must have reached.
I was going to say, last I heard they were in France, but that was yesterday.
Yeah, but they must be in the Basque region by now, because France is, when we used to do it, we used to drive through France, down to Bordeaux, towards Bordeaux? Yeah, towards Bordeaux, Angoulême, and places like that, Bayonne, and then we used to go over into the Basque region and then drive down to Leon and then on to Burgos and places like that, and then up through into Galicia. So we would have been there by now. So sorry, we would have reached Galicia. So I'm sure they must have done, unless you're taking a scenic route and you're looking at all the scenery, because France's roads, when you're on them, they're just like that. They're just straight. You can see they call it kilometers and kilometers, but you can see for kilometers. I noticed Jose, and then Johnny, there he is. Look, even Jose and Colin, she's the governor. We're in the French Basque region. So is that where you're staying, or are you still making your way down to the Spanish Basque region? Whatever you're doing, Johnny, I wish you all the best to you and your family, and I hope you have a really splendid holiday, mate. Chill, man, and have a good holiday.
I was telling Johnny I'm going to message him.
Yeah, yep, he's my fella. No, we are here, and I'm never doing it again. Oh, so is that what you're doing? You're staying in the French Basque area rather than the Spanish Basque area? Fair enough. But like I said, really, guys, you yourselves and your family enjoy your holiday, enjoy your time away. And then we've got David Shears says Spurs are like Giuseppe, the famous stonemason's advice to his son on his deathbed. And then I'm not going to repeat that because being a bit PG here, just in case some kids are hearing us, because there is family on board here. Ian says the Spanish drivers that are bloody scary.
I believe it.
And then he says that the base in the top of the Aquitaine, and then we travel up. What are my dogs barking at? I don't know what they're barking at. They're going mad. Right. So tell me what you want first, people. Do you want predictions, fantasy, or predict the Prem? And I will share with you exactly what we've done. Or, sorry, how you guys have done. Not me, how you guys have done. Some people have done really well this week. Really, really well. Let's do the predictions first. Right, so are you talking about the Friday predictions there, Jamie?
I think so. I think that's what he means.
Okay. Oops, sorry, Jose. I went to bed 9-year-old and I woke up a crude 50-year-old. And then you got Ryan Jesus come in and he says, evening, Jose and Colin plus the chat. And Mark Hudson says, I'm getting sacked from both. And Talkspur says, yeah. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start with the predictions. Right. Predictions. Let me go and find the predictions. So the predictions are as such. Oh, that's not the predictions. The scores are as such. I've got to take the comment down. Hi, Ed. Ed M's just joined us. Hi, Ed.
Hey,
you're well.
what's up, buddy? Hey.
I think that's all everybody on the one page for this week. So 32 players entered the first week last week for predictions, and from that we can see what everybody did. So the first game ended up with Man United 1, Fulham 0, and the only person that correctly predicted was Julie, Colin's mum. We call her Tottenham mum. She was the only one that predicted that she's got a green, which means that scores her 3 points. Everybody else that's got an orange means that they went for a home victory. They didn't get the right score, but they did go for a home victory, so they all get a point. So 3 points for the correct prediction and 1 point for going for the correct team, or sometimes you go for a draw. So well done, Julie. So she kicked off. So Friday night, Julie was top of the league. And there was a fair few people that followed thereafter in alphabetical order. We all had a point. And then there were some of us, including me, in alphabetical order, who had 0 after the Man United Fulham game. Moving on to the 12:30 game on Saturday, that finished Ipswich 0, Liverpool 2. And the people that correctly predicted this were me, Ronnie, and David Clark.
Good
So
old
all three of
DC.
us predicted the Ipswich Liverpool game correctly, and there was quite a few people that got oranges, meaning they predicted the Liverpool win, but by different score lines. And then going into the next game, it was Arsenal 2, Wolves 0. The correct predictions for this game came from Ryan G, Scott M, Graham, Ronnie, Hanno, Rob Belcher, Dan Coys, and Chris Peters. All correctly predicted a 2-0 victory to Arsenal. All the other people, once more, with oranges, are there. Ed, are you talking about predict the Prem? Because this is the one that we do. So we've got 3 competitions going on. This is the one that we do at 4 o'clock on a Friday. So people come in and we do it live. We do this live instead of the predictors. So I think it's you might be referring to the other competition, which we're going to come to as well. The next game was Everton 0, Brighton 3. Well, no one predicted the 3-0 scoreline, but there was quite a few oranges there, meaning that people predicted a Brighton victory. The next game ended up Newcastle 1, Southampton 0. Nobody predicted the correct score in that game. No, Ed, you're not on this one, right? But you can be, because on Friday at 4 o'clock, I do a show, right? I'll explain it. I'll explain it as I go along, because some of you have done the Predict the Prem but didn't do this one. Some of you did this one last season and you wanted me to keep it, so I did. So yeah, we're on Newcastle Southampton ended up 1-0 to Newcastle. Nobody got the correct prediction, but quite a few people ended up predicting Newcastle to beat Southampton and all got a point, but just didn't get the right score. Then you got Nottingham Forest versus Bournemouth. Now that ended up as a 1-1 draw, and the people that got that correct were Ryan G, Graham, Ronnie, David Clark, DJ Samuel, Chris Peters, and Colin, my co-host. He got it as well. So all the people in green for Forest Bournemouth all got 3 points, and anyone that has an orange there means that they obviously picked a draw, but it wasn't a 1-1. There's people have gone for 0-0 and 2-2s, so they get a point for that as well. Then we had West Ham United versus Aston Villa, and this game finished West Ham 1, Aston Villa 2. And the people that correctly predicted the score were Steve D, Dan Coys, and Chris Peters. And everybody else, well, not everybody else, and then a few people after that. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people correctly predicted a Villa win. And this is one of the games that people hardly scored any points in. But there is a bigger game coming up where people next to no one scored points. And then we've got Brentford beat Crystal Palace 2-1. And the correct predictions for this game came from Kuva, Adrian, and David Shear. All correctly predicted that Brentford would beat Palace 2-1. And there's only 2 people that got oranges in there. Everybody else either went for a Crystal Palace away victory, or there were some draws there as well. So not very many points were scored. Then we move on to Chelsea 0, Manchester City 2. And the correct predictions in this one came from me and David Shear. We're the only 2 that got the correct prediction in this one at 0-2. And there was a whole host of people that went for an away victory for Manchester City. And then the last game of the weekend was our beloved Tottenham. And the game finished Leicester 1, Tottenham 1. Only one person had the draw, and that was Scott M. He had 2-2, so he got 1 point. Everybody else either had a Tottenham away victory, and there was one person, I think Peter Kagayas is the only person that went for a Leicester victory. Other than that, everybody else had an away victory for Tottenham. No, Scott Colliver. Scott Colliver and Peter, two Australians. Two Australians had a Leicester victory. Everybody else went for a Tottenham away victory, and the only person who put a draw in there was Scott M, which meant he picked up a point. So, what it then did for the table, and yeah, this is the first week. So for the people that didn't do this the first week, going back to last year when we did this, the first week that we did this, we had 18 players. This year, we had 32 start the competition in the first week. Remember, it was 18 players last year, and in the end, the league ended up with 119 players. So I've got a feeling that people who've missed out will come and start on Friday again, and
right.
you can quickly catch up points.
We might even have some of those bonus weeks again, right?
Yeah. So yeah, the difference with this one, and I'll explain it in a minute to people. But then what that then means for the league table is this is the first league table. This is the first league table. Good morning to you, Peter. I hope you are well, sir. We're just going through the predictions from Friday, and we've just gone through it. Jamie, you'll have to come in on Friday and do it, mate. So at the moment, in the lead with 3 correct scores and 3 predictions, right? So is Chris Peters is on 12 points, and he's ahead of David Shear. Purely, he would have been ahead of David Shear alphabetically, but he correctly predicted more than David Shear. So he's got 3 picks to David's 2. So David picked 2 correct predictions and 6 predictions, so ended up with 12 points. Remember, if you get an absolute correct score, you get 3 points. And if you get a prediction, you score 1 point. So David's got 2 and 6. Then we've got Ronnie, Dan Coys, and Ryan G all scoring a credible 11 points. And all 3 of them scored 2 correct and 5 predictions. Then we have David Clark, Spurs GCTV, and Julie all on 10 points. And as you can see from the league table, Spurs GCTV and David Clark both got 2 correct predictions and 4 predictions. And Julie got 1 and 7. So Julie ends up being underneath them by virtue. This is like the goal difference type thing. So by the virtue of scoring more correct predictions, she is in 8th behind them 2. Then we have Colin, Kuva, and Scott M. Oh, they're only separated by alphabet. Only separated by the alphabet because they all scored 9 points. Then in 12th, you have Jose with 8 points. I stand on my own. I didn't have to share any initials with anybody alphabetically. I stand on my own with 8 points. And then we have Adrian, Hanno, Steve D, Phil Coys, and Lee Wiskid, all with 7 points. And then you have Destiny 5, Ian Meth, John Michael, and Mr. M, all with 6 points. Followed by DJ Samuel, Rob Belcher, Carl Simpson, Dave Williams, Inner Hype, Big John Garside, Alan Rakdos Madness, Tot Spurs, who was last year's winner. He was last year's champion, so he's the regaining champion from last year. And Scott Colliver all ended up with 5 points. And some of them have got a mixture of correct predictions and then alphabetically how they've finished in their positions. And then you have Jay Ashraf with 4 points. And the person that's propping up the table at the moment is Peter with 3 points. Peter did pick some wild scores. And I even remember going on the show on Friday saying to Peter, "Are you sure this is the way you want me to pick it?" And he said, "Yeah." And Scott Colliver, who's 2 places above him, I remember saying to Scott, "Is this what you've predicted? Is this the right way that you've predicted the scores?" And they all confirmed it was. So therefore, and by the way, Peter, if you just joined, the Tottenham result, you and Scott went for home victories to Leicester. Everyone else went for a Tottenham away victory, and only one person had a draw, and that was a 2-2 draw. So they got a point. So that is the predictions league for everyone. Yeah.
Oh.
Right. So just to remind everybody, the people that didn't join last Friday, the show's at 4 o'clock on a Friday. The only time that will change is if I'm away, and I will be away the 13th, Friday the 13th of September. So that show will probably move to Thursday. Now, we do the live show, but for people that can't make the show live, what we then do, so basically when we do the show, we go straight into the fixtures and we do the predictions straight away. And then if we talk football or anything after, we will do, but it's time to get your predictions in then. If people miss the show, the only way I will accept your predictions is if after the show, when the stream ends, if you go in the comments section and you leave your predictions there, then I will accept them from there. But I will only accept predictions where teams have not kicked off. Yeah. So I ask everyone to, tune in on Friday and have a go. Now, the scoring for this is different to the online one because I do it nice and simple. I just do 3 points for a correct score and 1 for a prediction. So I keep it nice and simple. And then my way to distinguish people on the same points is just by who has the most correct predictions, and that's the way. And then after that, it's alphabetical. So that's the easy way that I do it. So I do it non-fussed in an easy way. However, predict the Prem, which quite a few of you entered, and to show you predict the Prem and how this works, let me get it up first. Let me see. I've got all 40 on there. Right. So predict the Prem next. There we go for predict the Prem. Right. Can everyone see predict the Prem?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Right. So predict the Prem works differently to the Friday one that I did. Right. Predict the Prem, and we said this to people. Right. Predict the Prem works out the scores that you've gone for, and if you get a correct score, you score 3 points. Let me see. Can I see the fixtures?
Damn, look how much better my mom did than me in this one. Sheesh.
Let me see if I can see them. Okay, right. So, okay, it's just giving an overview now. Can you see the overview?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, right. So basically, in the league, right, of the people that that had a go, right, Man United won, Fulham 0. 25 people went for a home win. Draw. 25 got a home win. 7 people went for a draw, and 4 people went for an away win. But what it does, this one actually calculates goals, right? So I can't see my predictions that I did last week now, but if you this does goals for and goals against. So if you end up getting the correct prediction, you score 3 points, and I think it gives you plus whatever goal difference. So you get a plus goal difference for it, and you score 3 points for it. If you get the correct prediction, you score a point, but then it starts minusing your goals for the goals that you were out by in your score. Anyway, from doing that, as I said, standings now.
You what?
Has it gone back to the league table again?
Yes, sir. Yep, sure has.
So you did forget. A lot of people, what they do, Phil, is they'll do the same scores that on Friday as well.
Yeah, just for
I'm
convenience.
trying to get this to come down. It's not playable. There you go. Right. So clearly see, obviously I'm marked in red because I'm the one that's looking at my account. So it's telling me that I'm 24th. So what that then says is because I picked exactly the same scores that I did for the Predictions League on a Friday, right? So with me on the Predictions League on a Friday, I scored 8 points, 2 greens and 2 oranges. And that's exactly what it says there. Out of 10 games, it says win 2. And the 2 means that I got absolutely, you get the correct prediction. The 2 draws means that you got the right team to win, but you just didn't get the right score. And 6 means that you went a different way altogether. Now, for me, it's told me that I've scored 17 goals and I've conceded 19, so I'm -2 and I've got 8 points, right? So some of the people here, so right, for instance, Jamie Imber is leading the league. Side Dancer, Nate Pye. So Side Dancer's got 13 points. Nate Pye and Grant have both got 12. Now, you can see here Chris Peters in 5th. Yeah? Chris Peters in the Friday one that I do ended up with 12 points, didn't he? Because Chris Peters has picked exactly the same scores for both competitions. Because Chris had 3 wins, 3 correct predictions and three predictions, which is 9 points plus 3, 12. So he ended up with 12 points. So you can tell what people have done. Julie here has ended up with 10 points. 12 points even. I don't know how she's ended up with 12 because she's got 1 and 7. I don't know how she's ended up with 12. That should read 10, but it's given her 12 points. We won't tell the computer that they're wrong though. And Danny's got 11 like he did. Ryan's got 11 like he did. So these people have got the same kind of points that they got in the predictions that they did on Friday. And so this does it automatically. So I don't have to do the work for this one. But notably, in 38th place, and that's because he missed the first prediction. He didn't do Friday's prediction. And that's Hotspurs. He's the reigning champ for the Friday's predictions. And he obviously has had a bad start. And he's ended up 38th. Scott C got 5 points, ended up with the same points. Rob Belcher's ended up with the same points. So these people that have entered into the other competition have all ended up with the same points. But I can tell quite clearly that certain people picked different scores. Yeah, I can see that some people have done scores for Friday and scores for here. You can tell, right? So some of the people, for me, I went for exactly the same scores. Now, I did this Predicted Prem last year, and I switched the scores that I did in Predict the Prem to what I was doing on a Friday. So I had different scores. But for the first week, I went exactly the same. Yeah?
Yep.
Right. So that's where we are. I don't have a grudge, David. I just need to explain because Hotspurs came in firing bullets. He came in spraying the AK-47, saying that he was going to come and defend his side. A bit like Daniel Coys. I don't know who's got the bigger gun out of them two, to be honest, or the biggest artillery. Johnny Sanchez Vasco, who didn't enter the predictions on Friday, and but did this one, would have ended up with 12 points if he had picked the same scores.
Snap. That means he'll be back.
I think the sheriff had the sheriff done it Friday, because I don't think the sheriff did it Friday, did he?
Nope.
I don't think the sheriff did it Friday, but the sheriff did it Friday. The sheriff would have been right up there because he scored 11 points. Ronnie did it Friday. Graham did it Friday, and they scored 11 and 10 like they did on the Friday. Paul G, is there a cut-off for entering the scores online? Now, what happens, Paul, is I'll show you in a minute this week's scores so you can see it, and I'm going to share it with you now. So basically, Adrian's ended up with 9 points. So Adrian, I think, changed his scores from here to what he did in the predictions, because I'm not sure that Adrian scored 9 points in the predictions on a Friday. I'm going to look now. I'm just going to open it up on my other computer so I can tell what people have done. Now, Adrian did different results on Friday. So Adrian entered this online one, right, and then came to the show on Friday and entered them on Friday. So he's entered different scores. So Adrian would have scored. Had Adrian put the figures that he's put in here, Adrian would have scored 2 points more. Adrian would have scored 9 points rather than he scored 7. Yeah. Colin, let me see what Colin's done. Colin, you've gone for exactly the same scores. Would that be right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, you've gone for exactly the same scores because you've ended up with 9 points here. So 1, 6, and a 3. And you've ended up with that, a 1 and a 6. So you ended up with 9 points. So you did exactly the same on here as what you did on the Friday predictions. But what I'm trying to say is that not everybody did that. Lee Wizkid did. I can see that he's done it. Destiny 5 definitely hasn't. Destiny 5 has done different in the predictions league to what he did here. So, you know, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that some people will just do the same predictions for both, or you can change both. Last week, I did the same predictions for both. Yeah. So that's where we are with that one. And then we have Leo. Right, is there a cut-off for entering the scores online? Right, I'll show you now, Paul, what happens online, right, for you. And we've got Leo here saying hello to everyone. Did Leo enter this one? I'm sure I saw Leo. I know Leo's entered the Fantasy Premier, so we'll get to the Fantasy Premier in a minute. Right, so if they allow me to show this, I will show this to you now. Right. Right, for everybody that hasn't entered this yet, they will email you every week, right? So this competition, they will email you every week and tell you how you did in your previous week, and they'll tell you what to do. Yeah. Now, when you're going to do the predictions, right, and this is for Paul's benefit and anyone that hasn't done it yet, right? Brighton kick off against Man United. It's the first game of the weekend, and it's at 12:30, right? So if I enter this now, say I've done like you, Paul, because you said you've done them all, right? Let's say I went for 4-0 to Brighton, right? And I've entered that score, yeah? If they have the press conference on Thursday or Friday for this game, and I find out that Brighton have got 8 players missing through injury or illnesses or suspensions, and that Man United have a full squad, I may want to change that. Now, you can change any of the scores that you put in. You could go back in and you can change them because they'll all be yellow, providing the kickoff hasn't kicked off. So let's say, for argument's sake, I go back to this at 20 past 12, 10 minutes before kickoff. As the game hasn't kicked off, I can then change this and say, right, I'm going to change that to Brighton 1, Man United 2. Yeah? So you can change your scores as long as the match has not kicked off. Yeah? So just be careful. Remember what time the kickoffs are, because if they haven't kicked off, right, then you can do it straight away. Jamie says, I've already done 7 weeks just in case I forget, but we'll change when I see the lineups. Right. Listen, guys, I'm being really brutally honest with you. The Predict the Premiership, because you signed up, they will always email you during the week. It's probably on a Tuesday. So because we played Monday night against Leicester, they then sent out an email on Tuesday to everyone that's in the competition, right? In anyone that's signed up with them in any league, they sent out a reminder saying, this is what you did this week. It's time to do next week's fixtures. So you'll always get a reminder email, always sent out to you. So you'll never miss anything. I've just remembered. Right, listen, I can show you now. Can you guys see this? Can you see this, Colin?
Check in. Yeah, I can.
Okay, so I went for Man United 1, Fulham 2. The actual score was 1-0, right? And it says that a goal difference, I got -1, right? And this is how it works out. You predicted Man United would score 1, and they scored 1. So the goal difference is +1. You predicted Fulham scored 2, and they scored 0. So for Fulham, I get -2. So -2 plus and a +1 equals -1. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. To me,
And
it
that's
does.
how they do the goal difference. Right. It's where I got the prediction correct, guys, right? So I did Ipswich 0, Liverpool 2. It was a correct prediction. I scored 5 points, right? You predicted Ipswich would score 0, and they scored 0, so you get 1 point goal difference. You predicted Liverpool would score 2, and they scored 2, and they give you a goal difference of +4, right? And that's how I scored it. So for that, you score +5 goals, and you get the 3 points, yeah. And then because I got another correct prediction with Man City, I scored +5 as well there, right? Arsenal 2, Wolves 1. I got given 3 points. Right, so I predicted Arsenal would win. So point-wise, I got 1, but goal difference-wise, I was given a +3. And it says you predicted Arsenal would score 2, and they scored 2. So your goal difference is +4. You predicted Wolves would score 1, and they scored none. So you get -1. So +4 plus take away -1 gives you a +3. So where I've failed badly was Newcastle, Southampton. I went for 4-0. Oh no, that got even worse. Forest Bournemouth, I said 3-2. So I got because it was 1-1, I would have been -2 goals from Forest and 1 from Bournemouth. Yeah. So this is quite clever the way it does it, right? It's really quite clever the way it does it. So it tells you how you scored your points. And then obviously, as you guys have just said, you can go forward into as many weeks as you want. Yeah. So you can keep going forward into as many weeks as you want. And do these at your own leisure. But I do them week by week because we are sent an email about this. So that's why I do them week by week. But for anyone that wants to enter, so let me stop sharing that now. For anyone that wants to enter that competition, here it is. For anyone that's not entered it, there is the link for the competition for the mini league. And this is Predict the Prem. That is the actual link for it and the code to enter your team into the league. Right, Paul G. Paul G's done it. So you're in already, Paul, and so is Jamie. Right, but anyone new that wants to enter, that's how you enter the league. Yeah.
Good stuff.
I think I've caught up with the chat. Jose. Yeah, that's Mark's got it. People saying hello to each other. Right, Ryan G, you said to me that you've lost your membership. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. I do remember you having a membership, so I'm just wondering why. Let me have a look at you, sir. What does Jamie say? I'm still fuming. I went to bed angry and woke up angry. This is what Spurs do to me. The Everton game needs to come out quickly. Jamie, I'm too old to get stressed about football. Yeah, yesterday was yesterday, and I moved on very quickly, to be honest. So I don't suffer from it. Right, let me have a look who we got here. I'm sure I saw you earlier on here. Right, I can't see you there. I'm looking, Ryan, and I can't see you there at all. So I don't know what's happened. You might need to ask YouTube. I don't know whether it's your settings. I don't know what it is, but you are definitely not on there now. But I know that you were on there. Everyone else has been given their memberships back from when that was issued the other day. But and I'm sure that you got given yours back, unless yours has expired, because they only last 28 days. So unless yours is expired, Ryan, and if it's expired, then that's probably why. Yeah, because there's a lot of people coming up towards their expiry date as well. So yours may well have expired. Right, guys, we move on to the fantasy football. Good old fantasy football.
I did absolutely trash. It's because I didn't change my lineup. There's a couple of my players didn't play, and I forgot to trade them out at the last second. This is my first time ever doing it. So, you know.
Well, I will talk about it, and then you'll understand. So, about what you need and what you don't need to do. I'll try my best to make people understand it. Can I ask people that are watching the show to smash the likes? The like button's not been caressed tonight. Right, so that's the team that I had. Right, so my points for the week on LTEL. This is. I'm only showing LTEL because LTEL's the one that I went in with. So, with LTEL, I scored 4 points for Flecken, who's the goalkeeper. Kwanzaa only played 45 minutes and was taken off, so only scored 1 point. Had he played the whole game, I would have got clean sheet bonus for him. Anderson scored 0 for me. Van der Ven got 2 because Tottenham conceded 1 goal. My midfield of Fernandes, Gordon, Doucouré and Son scored me. Fernandes and Gordon scored me clean sheet bonus. So you get 2 points and a clean sheet bonus. They scored 3. Doucouré and Son leaked goals. And if you press the player, it will tell you, look, I scored 2 points because he played over 60 minutes. That's how I scored for Doucouré. I had Isak as my captain. And Isak scored 2 points for playing 90 minutes. So any player that plays 60 minutes or more scores your bonus points. And then I got 3 points for an assist. Yeah, for him. Solanke got me 2 points for playing. Yeah, minutes played, just 2 points for playing. And Haaland got 7. And the reason why Haaland got 7 is he got 2 points for the minutes played. He got 4 points for scoring a goal. He got -1 for getting a yellow card. But then he got 2 bonus points. Now, how the bonus points work, if you guys don't know, who was that? That was Man City I'm looking at, weren't it? Right, if you hover over the score, it then opens up some further stuff, which says match details. The goals scored were by Haaland and Kovacevic. The assists, well, one directly came from Bernardo. Yellow cards are there, Caicedo and Haaland. The saves by the goalkeeper, Edison made 3, Sanchez made 3. And then bonus points went to Kovacevic, got 3, Haaland got 2, and Edison and Guardiola got 1 each. Usually down the bottom, when you've got the bonus system, it's got a number against it. The higher the number, like whoever gets the highest number is going to get 3 points. Whoever gets the second highest, which is Haaland, got 2 points. But Edison and Guardiola both got 30 each points, bonus points. So they ended up with a bonus point each. That's how it all works out. So basically, for people that had, I don't know what type of players people had in their team. If some of you had Mo Salah in your team, right? Let's say you had Mo Salah. Mo Salah, look, he got 1 goal, he got 1 assist, right? And then he also topped the bonus system, got 38, so he ended up with 3 points. So Salah would have scored a fair few points this week. Points this week. But that's my team, scored 36 points. The league table for people. Right, top of the league is Anja Manager, and that's Adrian Cheer's team. He ended up with 72 points. Rough Diamonds for Steve Riffamato scored 69 points, along with Lee Whitkids got 69 points. So they're both joint second. I'm not sure whether Graham is, I suppose GC, no, he's not. Graham Dunn is a different Graham. He had a team called 99 Problems, got 67 points. Right. On Tottenham on tour. He's also on Jesse Talks Football, and he's also an Tel Cockerel league. So it'd be interesting to see what Graham this is. In 5th place, look who it is, Leo Coys. So Leo, Mile High Hotspur, he's in 5th place. His team consisted of, look at that, yeah. Look at his defence, how many points they scored.
Snap.
Becker got 7, Saliba got 6, Virgil got 12 because he put him in as a captain, so doubled his points. Gvardiol got 7, and Porro got 9. That is big points. His midfield kind of didn't get many at all. They just got bonuses for playing. And his 2 strikers, because he went in with 2, because you can. The automatic substitutions played. So he had Ivan Toney playing, and his first substitute was Pedro Porro. So because Toney didn't play, when they go to total this up, they automatically, if you have players that don't play, they take your players out and they put your substitutions in automatically in the order that you put your subs in. So he had Pedro Porro as his first sub, so he replaced Toney and scored him an extra 9 points. Let me have a look. Where are we? You got David Powell. He's 6th with Dave Williams. Earn your Spurs. Chris Peters is on 65 points as well. Then we've got Eddie Maron, who left the doggy out, with 64 points. Angie's Army, Phil Coys, is in 10th with 62 points. Then we've got Ronnie with Ronsky, if he's still in the chat. He's ended up with 62 points. You got Nick from Roundtable Talk with Ozark FC, got 60 points. Jamie Imber with Nothing Else Matters, got 60 points. Tot Josh, calling his team TJ, and that's Josh from Spurs Live. He's ended up with 60 points. West Bromwich Albion with Ped Vessel has ended up with 59 points. So looking at his team, he supports Liverpool, Ped Vessel. I don't know how he's joined the league, but he's joined it, and he is a Liverpool supporter. Ed M, that's who Ed Maron is. Ed M, he's 9th. He's ended up in 9th with 64 points. The leader had 72 points, so you're not that far off. And then you've got Kevin Clark with Beware the Bergval, 57. Jose, my team in Lenik We Trust, ended up with 56 points. And look what I did. I picked Virgil as my 3rd substitute. And Trippier, right? My first substitute was Nkunku. So Trippier didn't play, so they put Nkunku and who got me an extra point. Had I put Virgil as my first sub, I would have had an extra 5 points compared to the 56 that I got. So defensively, Raya scored me 8, Arnold scored me 8, Porro 9, Gvardiol 7. And then obviously Isak got 10 points. The midfield didn't do much. This will all change. Forget about where you are the first week. This will all change. So that's where I am with my team. But then I've called another team because I do this already religiously. But then I've called another team. I've done another team under Tel Cockerel when I set the league up. So that's why I appeared twice. You've got AJ with Norfolk and Chance on 56 points. Zoe Dyson Sutherland with Low Cross FC. She's from is from the Irish Hotspur. Then you've got Jess from Jesse Talks Football with 55 and 21st. Scott Colliver is 21st. Then you've got Ryan is 23rd with LTL Wanderers. Let's see who Ryan had his team. Ryan scored points in the defence again. Everyone has scored points defensively, but it's just the midfields have not really ignited yet. And he got 17 points for his 2 forwards. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. He's done well. He scored points from where he needed to get them. Who else we got here?
I'm in literal last place, but it's okay.
Are you?
Yep.
Julie Loves Cootie. Your mum is in 23rd.
I put that team together for her, but don't tell everybody. I mean, I just told everyone, but you're welcome, Mom.
Spurs GT is 25th. along with Adam William Cahill with Will Staggs, Samuel McConkey with Pub King, and change name. Right, so whatever Johnny Sanchez has picked, it's not accepted his name at the moment because it says change. Oh no, he's called his team change name. Pending moderation is the one that it tells you to change your team name. So side dancer has to change his team name because when it says pending moderation, it's because they're not accepting the name that you've picked.
Trying to pick something clever and inappropriate, but not clever enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Side dancer.
And then you've got young Charlie Biker. He's on 28th. You've got Robbie Clark. So Robbie from Lily White Lane is 31st. Blake Collins Clark with the Wobie top table. I'm not sure whether Blake is AJ's brother-in-law because AJ sent me a message saying could his brother-in-law join in, and I said yeah. Scott M is 33rd with Grant and Dragons D Nuts. And then you've got John Williams with Why Do I Bother and Expected to Lose from John Clark. And then you've got Tottenham Team Go by Rakdos Manis, that's Alan. 36th. Then you've got Rob Belcher, James Who Loves Spurs in 39th. Then we've got Jeff Miller in 41st. Carl Simpson, the quad is on. Expected to Lose with Ben Kaufman again. Is that two expected to loses I've seen? Yeah, John Clark's got one called that as well above. And Sheriff's 11 are all 42nd. And then you've got Nathan Pye in 45th. Belgium Hotspur 46th with Destiny 5 and Neil with Oggieball Hotspurs. And then in 49th place, we've got Milton and Mark Oliver, who is Just a Harmless Potato. So Just a Harmless Potato's name is Mark. And then you've got in 53rd, where are you, Colin? Because I'm 53rd with Tel Cockerel. I didn't realise there's more people on the other side of the page. Okay, and then you've got Hanno and Daniel E. So Hanno's in 51st. Daniel E. Daniel E has got to be Dan Coy's. What a poor start if that's him. But no poorer than me. I'm Tel Cockerel and I'm on 36 points. And then
at the end, whenever you get to mine, will you check my team out and can we like look at it and stuff?
Yeah, there's your team there.
Boom. I just want to see why I did so poorly. Like I said, I'm still learning.
Your substitutions. So Shaw is out injured. So you've picked a player that's injured.
Nice.
Right. And what you do is if you click into it, right? If you click into the player, right, look that calf injury expected back 14th of September. Do you see it in red at the top?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know that you bought a player, but he's not going to be playing until at least the 14th of September. It's the same as Ferguson. You bought Ferguson, right? And look at Ferguson. It says lack of match fitness, 50% chance of playing.
Gotcha.
So when you see these players, if they've got a red or an orange against them, and that
don't pick.
Well, it's not. You take a chance because you might be buying someone for the price. You take a chance, but you check how long they're going to be out for. Yeah. So with you, Shaw and Walker, because Walker didn't play. He was a sub, but he didn't play at all. So for them two, they substituted and they put Gabriel in for you, who scored you 6 points, and they put Eze in for you, who scored you 2 points. Had the substitutions not been made, you would have scored 8 points less than what you did.
Interesting. Okay, that would have been terrible. But okay,
right. So
cool.
So people need to remember your substitutes. If a player doesn't play the match, your substitutes are used in the order that you put them in. So see, you've got 1, 2, and then 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Down there, right? It depends. So that it'll always go. If one player doesn't play, yeah, it will go to the number 1 pick, and the number 1 pick would be the first player you've got, outfield player you've got there. So it's always good to put players in. So let's say, for argument's sake, say Ferguson was fit, right? Then what you should have done is if you're playing a 3-5-2 formation, you should have put Ferguson in there, right, as your first pick as a sub.
Okay.
Because then
Gotcha.
that gets you striker points.
Right.
The striker points will only work if it's a midfielder that's been injured or that's not played, because you must always have 3 defenders.
Fair. Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
so if a defender came out, say Guehi didn't play and Ferguson was your first change, it wouldn't go to Ferguson. It would move on to your next change, it was a defender. Because you've always got to have a minimum of 3 defenders playing. Yeah. But there's also, so if you make substitutions, so if I'll go to subs in a minute, Colin, to show you how it's done or what you
Okay.
can do.
Yeah.
Let me go back to leagues. Right. So if we go back to league, right, and Tigaro is at the foot of the table at the moment with 33 points. Yeah. So for next week, because the first week's already finished, if you go into transfers, can you see where it says player selected, budget, and then transfer, free transfers?
Hmm.
Okay, it says free transfers 1. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that means you can change 1 player out of your team, right? Providing you've got the money for it. So at the moment, if I was to do it, I've got a 0 budget. So whatever player I took out, if I was doing a substitution, I'd have to replace him up to the equivalent of the money that the player that I'm taking out is worth. Yeah. And if I do that, then I don't get penalised any points because I get 1 free transfer. If I did more than 1 transfer this week, every transfer that you do beyond 1, which is your free transfer, will deduct -4 points from whatever score you're going to score that weekend.
Whoa. Okay. Yikes. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But that could, I mean, depending on the transfers you make, though, that could be, could come out in the wash. You could come out. So yeah.
Yeah. And then also what you've got is you've got wild cards that you can play. Right? So you've got free hit. I don't know what the wild card is, but when you're picking a team, right, look, can you see when you pick a team, it says bench boost? See it?
Yep. I do. Uh-huh.
Okay, so bench boost, triple captain, free hit, wild card, and mystery chip. Yeah. You can only use these once in 38 games. So if you feel, right, that Man City are smashing it, right, and let's say that they were playing, I don't know, say in a few games time or down the track in the season, let's say they were playing someone like Ipswich, and Ipswich are nearer the bottom of the league, right, and they're on a bad run of form, and you think Haaland's going to score a hat-trick in that game or score loads of points. If you play triple captain and play it, you can only play it in 1 week in the 38. But if you press play and you add who you want the captain to be, that player will score triple the points for that week. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Bench boost, right? If you hit bench boost, that means all 15 players that you have score points for you.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look who we've got side dancers in, Steve Rifamato. Steve and Si, well done, you two. I will come back to you both in a minute on the competitions that you've entered. But Steve, you've done well in this one. Si, you've done well in another one. So I'll come back to it because I did it earlier on in the shows. So, at the end of the day, if you pick a triple captain, that's how you do it. Bench boost, you can only use once. You can never use 2 on the same week. Yeah. So you can only use 1 in the 38 game week. But your bench boost will give you the points for all 15 players. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Free hit. The wild card, I'm sure the wild card is the one where you can make as many substitutes. Right. If you go into transfers, right? Transfers again. Right. See where I've got transfers. Right. And I'm not going to transfer anyone, but I'm just going to show you guys. Right. For those that have only played this for the first time, where's everything gone? Okay, so go back to transfers. Right, transfers. Right, watch. Right, I'm going to transfer him, 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 him. Right. Do you see that I've taken 7 players out?
Yes, I do see.
Right. So, do you see that it says cost red 24 points?
That's the negative 24. That'll
Yeah.
be
So
yeah.
that's my freebie minus 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I can change the whole of my team, right? And use a wild card, which means that I won't get docked any points, right? But you can only use that once. So some people that may have had a poor start don't understand the game and think, right, I now understand it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to change my whole of my team to make it more competitive, right? And use the wild card, and you won't get charged for any transfers. So basically, if you were to do it
Did you just
without
get one
using
wild card then? Just
one wild card, yeah, one.
Okay.
Right. So look, if I was to change the whole of my team, that would be minus 56 points for the week before I even start playing. Before I even start playing next weekend, I'm already starting on minus 56 points. Yeah. But if I then pick the team, right, and I'll just ask it to auto pick. Right. So it's auto pick the team for me, right? It says I still got 14.5 million left in my budget, but that's going to cost me 56 points what I've just done there, right? Unless I swap around and change my players around and whatever, right? But in order not to get dot the 56 points, if I play wild card, it will give me it free of charge. Yeah.
Cool.
So look,
Yeah.
make unlimited permanent transfers in a game week without incurring you get a second wild card. Sorry, you get a second one without incurring the usual 4 points for each. The second wild card will be available after Sunday, the 29th of December. Yeah.
Ah. Okay.
This chip cannot be cancelled after you play it unless you have not yet made a cost for the transfer week. Yeah.
Makes
Does that
sense.
make sense to you?
Yeah.
So you could change your team out if you think you've done really badly. Some people may think, do you know what? I've picked the wrong team. I haven't done it properly, and you pick another team for yourself, right? And then you play that wild card, and you won't get charged any points. And then you run with making one transfer per week.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's probably what I'll do. Slowly change it to what I would like.
But remember, you can only use the wild card once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until halfway through the
Right.
season or whatever. Yeah.
So going back into it, because I've got Steve and we've got Side Dancer here. Steve, you've done superb. You are in second place, mate, in the league with Rough Diamonds. You ended up in second place. I can see some chat here. And you've got people saying, Side Dancer says he's triple captain Haaland for this weekend. Steve Riformato has said that he's done the same. He's triple captain Haaland. And Ryan G has triple captain Haaland as well. Yeah?
Yep.
So they've all done it. So we'll see in a minute who's playing who and why they've done it. Side Dancer, where was you on this one?
He's the one that had to change his name. His name is like needs reviewed or whatever.
Okay, right. Si, you're 28th, but your team name hasn't been accepted. So whatever you picked as your team name hasn't been accepted because it says pending moderation. So you need to go into, and because I had to do this as well. So when you go into your pick team, go down to team details. And if you click into team details, you can change your team name there. Yes, Si. So just for you, mate, go down to admin, team details, and change your team name. It's not accepted your team name. Right. So next week, these are the fixtures for the second week, Colin. And the reason why 3 of the chaps here have said that they're going to do Haaland, right, is because Man City play Ipswich.
Yikes.
And at this early moment in time, some of these people in the chat believe that Haaland's going to bag points for them.
Makes sense. I think he probably will. Yeah.
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 So, you know, at the end of the day, it's about when you're gonna when you choose to make the switch, so to speak, on these teams. Right. So that's that. So well done, everyone in the fantasy. If anyone wants to play this fantasy with us, right, what it is here, right, for anyone that hasn't entered it so far, there's the link for the Fantasy Premier with the code to enter into the LTL League, and it can be found on the community page as well. Yeah. Right. So for some of you guys that are here in the chat now, right, what I talked about earlier is on Friday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we do a predictions league, right? And the predictions league that we do is here. And we had 32 people enter on Friday. It's not too late to enter if you missed a week, right? There's a difference between this and the online one, right? And that is the predictions that we all did on Friday's show. And that is the table after the first week. Yeah. So there's 32 people in the league at the moment, and that is the table for the first week. So if people haven't done so already, please come on Friday and enter this competition as well. It's great fun. Yeah.
Sure is. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's great fun because everyone gets to pick their scores. And for the people that are doing Predict the Football, right? So I'll go to Predict the Football next. For people that are doing Predict the Football, some people predict the same scores in Predict the Football that they do on the Friday show. Some people don't. Yeah. Some people change their scores. Right. In Predict the Football, it's here. Oh, let me go back to 0-0. Predict the Football is here, right? And the mini league is as such. So there we go. There's where everyone's ended up. So, Sai, the reason why I asked you is you can see this yourself because the Prem, they always send you out an email a week. And when you look at it, Sai, you're in second place. So that means that you're in. Must have predicted 3 absolute correct scores, and you must have predicted 4 teams to win, but they didn't win by the score that you've put in there. But you've ended up with 13 points in second place, and your goal difference is 16-13. I did explain earlier to people how the goal difference works in this one. So it's quite easy looking at it because it's self-explanatory. If you hover over, it tells you what you've done. Right, profile and predictions. There we go. Right, so these are this week. It's got Brighton. It's kept my score in there. It's got to change my score to 0-0 so I can do it again. Right, so basically with this one, if I go into last week's fixtures, this is me, by the way. You've all got this, right? The reason, so if you get an absolute correct score, it depends what the score line is. So I went for Ipswich 0 Liverpool 2, which was a correct score line, and I ended up getting +5 goals for that, and that's the reason why. So if you hover over your +5s, it tells you why you've got it, because this one does goals for and goals against, and then at the end of the day, so that's the goal difference is +5, and you get 3 points for a win. So I've ended up with 8 points, and when you total all the goal differences, that's how I've ended up where I was. With Couva Bear, it's superb with Couva. Because Couva always does a 7-3 or a 3-7 for Tottenham. And Couva ended up with 4 goals scored and 24 against. So because of that big score of 10 goals, 7-3 is 10 goals in a game, and it was actually a 1-1 draw, which meant that you would have scored loads of minus points in this competition. So this competition is slightly different, Couva, to the predictions that we do on a Friday. So yeah, so for those that didn't attend the predictions on Friday, so that I'm looking at people like Steve, EDM, side dance and that. Join us at 4 o'clock on a Friday and enter the competition. It's great fun. It's great fun. Right, and with that, I think I've covered all 3 competitions. So yeah, the next time that we'll be on, it'll be on Friday at 4 o'clock to do the predictions league that we do. All the others are self-serving. You do them online. I'm hoping that for some of you that have never played this game before, you can see how it's done. Do you know what's going to be interesting? I'm going to do this now. I've just thought of it, and I'm going to do it. Right, I'm going to look at some of these players, some of these people in fantasy football. So what you can do, Colin, right?
Yeah.
I bet you didn't know this, right? But what you can do, right? Leagues and cups. We'll go to Tel Cockerel for now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Steve seems to know what he's talking about. So does Ryan. So does Side Dancer. And there was someone else that put a comment. Ed M seems to know what he's talking about. So if I go into Rough Diamonds to Steve, and where do I go from here? There was a way that I did this the other day. I ain't pressing that one, is it? So is it that one? No. I will work this one out. Hold on. Okay, so it must be different. There's a way of doing this. Status. Right, how did I do this the other day? And I was able to see it all. I'm going to do it now. Hold on. Right. Right, so it's there. How did I do this? There's a way of doing this that you press something and it tells you what they've done in the past.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, and so there's a way of doing this. I'm trying to figure out because I did this the other day and I could see how many years I'd entered it for. Leagues and cups, right? Hold on. So we've got Tel Cockerel, right? That's not there. Transfer history. It's not that one. Now, where did I do this the other day? But you can tell. Is it points? Here we go. Found it. Yeah, it's this way. Oh no. No, that's not it. User profile. It ain't user profile. I did this the other day, and you can check on people to see what they've done in the past. I will figure it out again, but you can work out what people have done in the past, so you can see who's played this game before.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some spying.
Okay, right. Game previous seasons, right? Yeah. So this is previous seasons, right? I've got it now. So Tel Cockerel. I've never played under Tel Cockerel, so that's why I haven't got any previous seasons.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but if I went to right, let me see if we can work this one out. So Tel Cockerel, Rough Diamonds, right? Game week history. There you go. There you go. Right. Look, Steve played this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's been playing this for 6 seasons. Obviously, there's a break because of 22, 23. I know he did play in 22, 23 as well. He's played for the last 6 seasons, and this is the points that Steve has got. and his ranking. Yeah. So you can tell who's played the game and who hasn't, mate.
For sure. Yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna have to do like I said, a lot of spying.
So if I go to Tel Cockerel, right, and I go down to my first team, right, this is when you start seeing points, man. Look at that. Look how many years I've played, Colin. I started this in 2006.
Jeez, man. Sheesh.
But the last 2 seasons scored 2,361 and 2,266, which is no mean feat. They are big numbers. If you look, compare these last two numbers that I've got, they will be big numbers compared to a lot of people. So 2,361 and 2,266, yeah.
Well, everybody watch out now that I know how to play. I'm coming for y'all.
I'm teaching people new things all day here. Let me see. Who else might have played? As Chris Peters. Let me see if Chris Peters has played this before. Where's Chris Peters? All right. Has Chris Peters played this game before? Have a word. Chris Peters could score last year 2304 and the season before 2083. Chris Peters has played this game as well. You can tell who's played the game and who hasn't. It's interesting, isn't it? There's a lot to it.
Yeah, definitely. It's not as simple as the predictions, that's for sure. But
side dancer. All right, let's go to side dancer. Because he was size played last season and a couple of years before that. So this is size third season playing it. Let me go to Edem. Let me see. Because you can all do this. It's not just me that's doing this. You can all have a look. Can you see him?
I can.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Where is he in? What number is he at?
Oh, sorry. I thought I missed
There he
the question. But there you go. Yeah.
Edem, right? So Edem, look at
I like
Edem.
this team name as well. Jesus,
Yeah.
Ed. Damn.
He's played a fair few years as well. And last year he scored 2261. So yeah, so you can tell how people have done in the past, and you can see there's some newbies that have never played this game before. So I think Leo might be one of them. I'm not sure. Don't want to cast aspersions, but yeah, look, Leo has never played this before.
Nice.
Leo used his bench boost in game week 1. Did he? 7, 13, 25, 32, 41, 42, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 56, 64, 66. Leo's already used one of his boosts. Yeah, look, bench boost played. So Leo used his bench and he got an extra 8 points from Edison and 2 points from Dakuri, but Tony and Ake didn't play. He probably only got 5. I always forget to do my transfers or picks by transfer by week 3 and give up, says Kuva. I'm in 4th at the moment, Jose, under my real name, Graham Dunn, but the team name has a 99 in it for ease of reference. Do you know what? I was wondering who Graham Dunn was. There it is. Look at that. Kuva smashing it. Kuva smashing it. Look at that. Kuva has got 3 Arsenal players in his team.
Hey, Kuva's all about the win. He's all about the win.
Well, when you're playing this, it's about points. Points make prizes. So he's done well there. He's done well. And then going into Kuva's game week history. Cooper played. What are we now? 24, 25. So Cooper played this a couple of years ago and scored 1,785 points. So fair play there. Where is Graham? Where's Ryan? Where's Ryan's team? Only because Ryan, there we go. Tel Wanderers, right? So Ryan's team. So Ryan took a break 21-22, but then played 22-23 and 23-24. Ryan says, right, this is the cheek of it, right? I probably got about 500 points last year, is what Ryan says. Trying to put us all off, Colin, when he's clearly got 1,731 points and 1,869 and that. So, Steve says, I'm not usually in leagues, so I lose interest. But no, but you're in the league this time, Steve. So, yeah, well done you, sir. You're in the league this time. And, yeah, every week I will do a show where we bring up to date where everybody is in all three competitions that we're doing. So that's the predictions from a Friday, the Predict the Prem, and also Fantasy Premier. But, yeah, that shows people where... you can find them within the, you can see where they've played. Yeah, you can see it all where they've played. But like I said, anyone wants to play any of the competitions that hasn't entered already, the Predict the Premier and predictthefootball.com is there. Enter that code and it will get you straight into the LTEL League. We have 40 players currently playing in that at the moment. And then obviously all you guys here at the moment that are in the chat have all entered the fantasy, but the Fantasy Premier League. But there it is again with the league and the code. All this information can be found on the community page for Tel Cockerel. And the best one of all, the one that I have a lot of fun with, is doing the predictions on a Friday. And like I said, there is the predictions that were done last week by people. And we had 32 people enter on Friday, and obviously from these scores it amounted to a league table that's here as such. So trying to get more people on. I don't know why I'm doing this because it's hard, it's a lot of work, but I'm trying to draw more people into the Friday show to do it because it's good fun. So you got Coov says I've played most years but never forget which email I signed up with due to my gaming accounts, etc. I'm lazy, getting old, and easily confused. Leave me alone. Paul G says, the predict the football I like, great with the goal difference. Paul G says, put me on there, Jose, at the bottom. I'll be entering. Which one are you entering, Paul? Oh, you're entering Friday, Paul. Fair enough. That's fair play. Lenny Max here. Lenny Max says, I got 32. Best fantasy I ever had. Before that, it was a threesome. 32 was a proper Roman orgy fantasy.
Oh, Lenny.
Lenny Mac. I suffer that too, says David Shear. And David Shear is also saying that Ryan is a dark horse. He is a bit of a dark horse because he says, yeah, I only got 500 points last year. And little do we know, we can look at what people have done. You can see the history of people that have played the game before. And yeah, from looking at the history,
I'm still mad that I picked my mom's team and it was better than mine. But oh well.
All I've got to say for people that have played this game before, right, is it's easy. The maths is easy, right? If you score around 60 points a week, right, and that's including if you played your wild cards and you've played everything you wanted to play. If you score 60 points a week, right, on average, right, and that's including, like I said, when you play everything. If you do that over 38 games, you will score a total of 2,280 points. And that's a good score. 2,280 is a good score, right? So what you're aiming for, if possible, is to try and get around 60 points a week. There are some times that you're going to get slightly more points, and there's sometimes you're going to get slightly less points. But if you average it out at 60, you get 280, and that would be a good score. The other thing is that some of the people here are quite clued up and wised up on this. Triple captain. Do you know when the best time to play triple captain is?
Nope. No clue.
Right. So, you know when games get cancelled because people are in cup competitions and that?
Yeah, I do.
So last year we ended up having to play Chelsea and Man City later in the year because they were both in other competitions, weren't they?
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then what ends up happening, because the teams rearranging fixtures and stuff like that, you end up with some weeks where a team will play twice in a week. So they'll play a game on a Saturday or a Sunday, and then they'll play a midweek game because they're playing catch up. And the best time to triple your captain, right, is when you've got a double week where some of the teams are playing twice. If you've got quite a few of them playing twice, then it's handy to do a captain. Or so this happens a couple of times, right? A year possibly. So one time you can use your captain as a triple captain, and if they're playing twice in that week, you get triple points. Or in a double week, you might end up using your bench boost because it covers a double week for you as well.
Makes sense. Okay, I'm with you.
Right, Edem says. So you've
Sorry.
got Edem saying tips. These are all tips now. Edem saying simple tips. Don't pick two defenders from the same team if their team have a bad week and get a hiding. It's a double whammy of lost points.
Big up. Good call.
I thought it was one game day, the triple captain. I'm learning a lot. No, it's not. It's not. These are the tricks of the trade. What I will say though is to Edem, your comment last year for my sins, right? I had Saliba and Gabriel in my team, and them two got so many clean sheets last year. And Gabriel, whatever his name is, he got some goals, right? And they always got bonus points as well, and they racked up points for me as defensively. And there's two players from the same team. Had I picked Virgil van Dijk to start instead of being one of my subs, I would have ended up with points for two Liverpool defenders at the weekend. So,
you know what stinks is when somebody from your work hits you up on your day off and you have to do work while you're supposed to be streaming with your friends. But it's okay. It's only going to take me a second.
Lenny Matt says 32 points is really bad. My best score in the game, it was 144. Kane was injured. I put Deli, Ericsson, and Son in a 3-4-3 mid. Ericsson, Cack. I got 144 points. Legend. Lenny, enter Tel Cockerel's league, mate. Enter it. Show us all how it's done. Enter it. And there is it's on the community page. So if you've got a team already entered for this year, all you got to do is enter my code. All you got to do is enter my code, and it gets you straight into the Fantasy Premier, Lenny, and you can come straight into it. You might not pick up the points from the first week though, because I think your points only, even though you scored points if you're on another league and you already scored points, because you're entering another league, you start from scratch in that league, however many points you've already scored. But first week, it's easy to enter. And the Premier League predictorfootball.com, there's the code again with the link to enter. So you've been asked to do some work, Colin.
Yeah. So I told you I'm training.
Yeah,
the new guy. Yeah, and he's having problems and can't get anybody there to help him. But I'm almost finished. That's why I've seemed so absent this time. I've been working on this for 20 minutes.
That's all right. Well, is there anything you want to talk about or anything at all? Because otherwise I'm gonna.
Yeah,
end it.
I bet you're sleepy. I'm sleepy, and it's not even nearly as late here as it is there. I feel like I don't know. I hope everybody isn't too down about the match. Another one next week. Just keep your heads up, everybody.
Look, at the end of the day,
still plenty of football to come.
At the end of the day, right? We're all human beings, and everyone's got different things that make them tick. Everyone's different in their makeup and stuff like that. And some people will get agitated. Some people will get agitated by it all and that, and some people just take it in their stride. You know, the game was the game, and as soon as that game finished yesterday, said what I had to say in yesterday's show, and that's it. Went to bed, woke up this morning, a new day, go to work. You know, and there's not much more to say. Everybody had their own eyes. Everyone saw for themselves what the game was all about, and what was you know, what needed to, you know, what we need to do going forward, where we were good, where we weren't so good, you know. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. The game's over and done with now. I mean, it's, to me, the first 5 or 6 games of a season, and I said this to you when we had a call, when I called you yesterday. For me, the first 5 or 6 games for the season, people are finding their feet. People are finding their Premiership level because of pre-season.
Destiny hadn't played, you know, things like that. Exactly.
So at the end of the day, people take it, like I said, people take it in different ways. Some people will go and fly off at one game, one way, and some other people will react differently and react another way. You know, at the end of the day,
that's human beings. We're all different.
Lenny says the new guy sounds like Man of Solomon. Just off him. Ryan saying, right. So Ryan, no. What it means, right? Because in a game week you can't play more than twice, right? So what you might have is you might have a normal game week, which is 10 games. Sorry, 10 games.
You may be on.
So the 20 teams are playing, but then what you might have is you might have 8 teams that have had rearranged matches. So that's 4 more games. So basically, 8 of them teams are playing twice. Yeah. So the fixtures, instead of being a 10-game week, it becomes a 14-game week, and then that's when you end up doing it. So it's a double week. You can't have a triple week. There's a triple captain, and they can score. If you pick the captain that's playing twice in that week, they'll score you triple points for both the games that week. Yeah.
Gosh.
So yeah. And then if you've got if you're doing a bench boost, you can only use that for 1 game week. So if there's 14 games going on and you bench boost it, then it will score it for all them. Do you know what I mean? Lenny Mack says the new guys. I've just said this. LM says I had Haaland triple captain for City, 2 games in a week, and Pep the prick left him out. I was raging.
Just another reason to hate Pep. Just add it to the list.
Paul G says I used to get angry, down for days, but as I got older, I've just forgotten it and relaxed about results now.
More important things in life sometimes.
Lenny saying the game weeks are viewable, not determined by days formally. Towards the end of the season, to get bodgy, just scroll down so you can see all the games in the week. Yeah, so you can see all the games in the week, but it's when the games start getting postponed because of other cup games and stuff like that. People playing in Carabao Cups, people that are playing in FA Cups, because then there's rearranged games, isn't there? And people that are playing in FA Cup games, you know, you end up playing, and some teams get further than others. It's just worth keeping further down the line. I'd say keep it further down the line than just use it earlier. Talkspurs says, I've used my wild card for this weekend as I didn't know they added a second one. Let's hope Haaland starts now. Haha. I'll have to have a look at your wild card in a second then. Oh no, it won't show me. It won't show us who you've got. Side dancer. Listen, all the pros are coming out, Colin. Look, side dancer. I normally wait until Christmas time for my triple captain.
There you go. See, I'm gonna have to go back and look. I forget whenever you do your streams? If you go back and watch them, does the chat show back up?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm gonna go back and have to look at some of these.
No. It'll only if you rewatch the show, it'll only show you the ones that I've put up.
Oh, okay.
It only shows you the ones I've pulled up. But mind you, if you're in the back, then
I can just
have a look.
Yeah.
Who else you got here?
Colin Blackshaw's in the house. Big up, Colin. Good name.
I've just saw. Lenny Mack says, I bodged my wild card. Either use it reactionary on week 2, but now I use it for the January window and the second one for the last 2 games of the season. BTH, it's not worked yet. Colin Blackshaw said, good evening, Colin. I hope you're well, sir. I hope you're well. It's nice to see you. Not sure if you're aware, Colin, but we're running 3 competitions at the moment, and we're having a competition show, and that is to predict the Premier League. Everything can be found on the community page, but that's to predict the Premier League, which is an automated site that does it automatically. And we're also doing Fantasy Premier League, and there's a code to enter that. Again, it's on the community page. And then also, Colin, you missed it last Friday, but we started. Do you remember this?
Oh,
If you remember that, Colin, we started that on Friday. 32 people entered this time. Last year there was only 18 that did the first week, but we ended up with 119 people playing throughout the season. Well, this week, first week, we started with 32, and then obviously with 32 people, their scores are already done. And tonight we gave an update on where people were in the league. So if you want to join on Friday, you are more than welcome to do so. It's the same as last year. We do a Friday show, and then you've got the automated ones. And just to show you, because you're here, the automated ones I'm going to show you quickly. And there's still 40 people in the league. So the automated ones, Colin, just for your perusal. So there's the league on the automated ones. So it does it all automatically for you, right? So it does the league automatically. And what you end up doing is you end up predicting. I think it's a bit like Jessie's, because Jessie's got the Subaru one that she's doing. I'm doing her championship one. But yeah, you enter your predictions here for this is the online one. You enter your predictions here, and it ends up giving you scores and goal differences and stuff like that. So yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, I've got them both on my community page. If you want to enter, you can do. If you've already got a team in fantasy, then all you need to do is just put in the code. When you put the code in, it will just take you straight into our league. So he's saying evening to show it. He says, brilliant, I'll join them. Thank you. No worries, Colin. Nice to see you, sir. You have come in at the tail end of the show.
great name, by the way. I just gotta add, wonderful name.
We were gonna wrap up. Right. Thanks, Jose. I look forward to joining. Is the one from last year on the communication? No, Colin, the one from last year that we did, the one that I just showed you just now, that's just coming the show on Friday, 4 o'clock on a Friday like it was last year. And we pick up from there, and you can just start predicting already. The other two, one of them is an online one. So basically, what some people did this week, Colin, is they put the same predictions into the online as they did in the Friday show. But some people didn't. Some people changed their predictions from online and when they did the Friday show. So what we've got is the one that you played last year is on a Friday still at 4 o'clock. That's predictions. Then we've got Predict the Prem, which is online with the link and the code in the community page. And we've got Fantasy Premier League, which the link and the code are in the community page as well. So we're actually running 3 competitions this week. So oh, you enjoyed the Friday ones, so you're going to join that one. That's fine. As I said, maybe the online ones may not be for everyone, but they are there on the community page, and you're more than welcome to enter them, Colin. Right, I've got nothing more to add because I'm getting tired.
I'm tired as heck, but I just did another stream earlier. It's weird how doing streams makes you tired, but it really does.
I know, but I started early this morning to venture out to go to work and.
True, I've been to the doctors. Yeah, it's busy days.
It's been a long day, and then coming back from work this evening, I was on the train watching Spurs diehards, watching you lot on Spurs diehards. Yeah, Kuva's like he says 2 different sets of predictions works for me because I can wildly change my mind at any point. It's just interesting, Kuva, that some people, I'm not sure whether you were one of them, but some people are able to some people predicted exactly the same as what they did. Some people predicted exactly the same as what they did in the predictions on the Friday, but well, quite a few people did. So the kind of end points that they got without the goal differences was kind of the same as what they got on a Friday. But there were some people, funnily enough, that didn't. There's some people that switched their minds. So Adrian was one that stands out. He ended up changing his predictions from the so he's done the online predictions. He did them earlier on in the week, and then he's come in to the Friday show and decided to then do them then. But he picked differently on Friday to what he'd done in the online one. Lenny Mac says, just cross me. Jose is the Spandlona Danny Vega. Superb. And Lenny Mac saying to Kuva, I'm schizo, so I'm always right with my predictions. I always have two.
There you go.
Jamie says, I'm off the bed, guys. Great stream as always. Smash the like button, guys. Night all chat. Come on, you Spurs. Good night, Jamie. And yeah, with that, I'm going to say I'm not good with tech wise, so I'll do the Friday one soon. But Colin, more than welcome. 4 o'clock Friday as per usual. The only time that changes is if I've got work-related commitments on a Friday, and then I'll tell people in advance and probably make a show on a Thursday instead. But for this week, it's definitely on Friday. So listen, people, thank you very much, Colin, for being with me.
Yes. And can I tell everybody 4 p.m. tomorrow, Talking Ball.
Okay, so Talking Ball is doing a show. I'm on it tomorrow, aren't I?
You are.
So we're doing a show tomorrow from Talking Ball at 4 p.m. BST. So people come over to Talking Ball and support Colin tomorrow. I'm doing apart from being on with you, I'm doing a mop-up show on Thursday evening. I'll be doing the predictions on Friday, and then I'm doing a watch along on Saturday on Tel, I think.
Busy man.
So yeah,
we are.
Yeah, I will be busy later on this week. Hopefully it won't be long before you see all the thumbnails on the LTEL site, and Talking Ball for tomorrow as well.
I'm actually putting mine up at this exact moment. So yeah, good. Awesome.
I had a few different scores in the two predictions as well. I had 2-0 City on the online one. Wish I'd kept that one for your predictions. If you had done that, you would have been top, Ryan, wouldn't you? In all honesty, you would have been top. But anyway, guys, listen, thank you very much. If you're watching this on playback, then you'll hopefully see where you've ended up in all the 3 competitions this week. You will also see where you can go to do the 3 competitions. You would have got an insight as well tonight in some of the cheats, if you want to call it that, or some of the tips, if you want to call it that, of how to do Fantasy Premier League. I would have shown you on Predict the Prem how it all works out with the scoring for the goals for and the goals against. So I've been open, transparent, so everybody is in the same boat and everybody has the same information. But thank you very much, Colin. Thank you for everyone in the chat. You guys are the ones that make this show and get us doing this stuff. And until we see you next time, just hit the notification bell and then you'll know when we're on. So with that, I'm going to say, come on, you Spurs, and in Ange, I trust.
Be good to yourself, be good to others.